So Ari, what would you say led you in the first place to the world of construction tech?
Yeah, so I grew up in like a construction structural engineering family. My dad ran a small business doing structural engineering. So when I went off to college, I started studying that to kind of follow in his footsteps. And then left college, started in the structural engineering industry, but with a tech background and tech focus. So I was running like a software group in that structural engineering company. And then after doing that for a couple of years, it kind of made sense to partner up with my co-founder Peter and start a construction tech startup of our own. So bringing software back to the industry as a whole rather than just to one company.
Okay, perfect. And there obviously gave birth to Pirros. And it'd be amazing to kind of hear about the journey and why that was born. And then also, I know you've had exciting news hot off the press. So what your growth plans are, especially in the next 6 months, but also, 3, 5 years as well.
Yeah, so Pirros was kind of an idea that spawned from our old jobs. Essentially, we would daily kind of encounter these problems where we recreate the same details and blueprints over and over and over again, just because we didn't know that someone sitting across the office had done that last week. So we had to just do it from scratch. And then we've seen that same kind of technology in a lot of other industries, but that just hadn't been brought to the architectural structural engineering industry. And that was what prompted us to kind of build it, bring it to the industry. And then, yeah, the hot news is we just raised our seed round. So with that, we're starting to grow the team, actively hiring so that we can continue to build out the product and continue to bring the product to more customers throughout the country.
Awesome. And shout to Elamari if you need help with this. But in terms of your hiring, who are you looking at? What kind of candidate are you looking to join your team, especially as it's such early kind of foundational members?
Yeah, so we're actively hiring for engineering roles as well as kind of business development, sales roles. And really the key kind of quality and traits that we look for are just flexibility and work ethic, because in an early stage startup, I mean, everything changes day to day. So you have to be flexible and you have to take on roles that are outside of your like typical skill set. So that just comes down to like work ethic, learning, being willing to kind of expand your skill set and continue to grow as an engineer or salesperson or whatever role you fit into.
For sure. And if there's one piece of advice you could give to those who are actively interviewing with you, what would that be?
Yeah, I think the biggest piece of advice that I would say is just to continue to learn on your own. So like both me and Peter didn't come from like Peter does all of the sales side of Pirros and he didn't come from a sales background. I do a lot of the technical side and I didn't come from a traditional technical background. So really like all these skills can be learned and it's just a matter of putting the time in to learn them. So